All right, so day 6 of this 30 Days to Sell Cars program, we're diving into YouTube ads today. But not just throwing some random videos out there. This is all about getting those ads right in front of the people most likely to visit your dealership and actually buy a car.
It really is all about the strategy. You've already got your pre-approved video set from day 4 ready to go, and now this is about making sure that ad gets seen by the right people. It's like putting a billboard, not on some random highway, but strategically placed where your ideal customers are guaranteed to see it.
Right. So not just hoping that anyone on YouTube sees these. We actually have a bunch of tools you've given us. A campaign setup guide tracking templates, a big calculator, even a whole list of keywords. This is about making this a super targeted campaign.
And that's the key here. You're not wasting those advertising dollars on viewers who are never going to be interested in buying a car from you. Everything in this plan is designed to make those views count, to turn them into real leads. Actual qualified leads, people who are not just watching, but who are clicking, engaging, and ultimately making their way to your dealership's front door.
Okay, so before we even open up Google Ads, let's take a step back. What's the main goal for this YouTube ad campaign? What are we really trying to do here?
Lead generation. That's the whole point. You want to grab the attention of people who are actively searching for vehicles, just like the ones that you're featuring in your incentive program. It's all about building that pipeline of potential customers.
Gotcha. So to do that, we're using a specific type of ad, right? I see something here about in-stream skippable ads.
Exactly. Those are the ones that play before or during other videos. Now, people can skip them after a few seconds, so that first impression is critical. You got to grab their attention quickly and make them want to learn more. It's kind of like on the lot when a customer walks by. You got to make that eye contact right away and make them want to come talk to you.
That's a great way to put it. High stakes first impressions. Okay, so let's say I'm ready to actually build this campaign in Google Ads. Your campaign setup guide looks pretty detailed. But what are the main steps I need to know?
Well, first things first, you're going to link your Google Ads account to your YouTube channel. And then when you're choosing your campaign objective, you'll have 2 main choices, leads or website traffic. For this campaign, leads is probably going to be your best bet, since the big picture is to get those leads into your sales pipeline.
Yeah, leads definitely make sense. We want people to express interest, not just wander around online. So let's say we pick leads. What kind of campaign are we building then?
You'll choose video campaign as your campaign type, and then go with skippable in-stream ads for the subtype. This is where you'll really start getting into all those important campaign settings.
Now, I know as a dealership owner myself, every dollar counts. How do we make sure we're not overspending on this whole YouTube ad campaign?
Setting that daily budget is absolutely key. And the great thing about digital marketing is that you can start small, see what kind of results you're getting, and then adjust as needed. You're not stuck with some huge expense like you might be with a traditional TV commercial. Dip your toes in first, and then you can always make changes.
Start slow. See what works. I like that approach. So what about bidding strategies? I always get a little confused by all those acronyms, CPZ, CPM. What are we using here for YouTube ads?
You'll be using either maximum CPV, which stands for cost per view. That means you're only paying when someone watches a good chunk of your ad. Or you can go with target CPM, which is cost per 1,000 impressions. CPM basically means you pay every time your ad is shown 1,000 times, whether people actually watch it or not.
So CPV is more about engagement, and CPM is more about just getting your name out there.
That's a good way to think about it. The best choice depends on your goals and your budget. If brand awareness is your main focus, then CPM might make sense. But if you're laser focused on those leads, CPV could be more cost effective. And don't forget, you've got that bid calculator to help you figure out those numbers and find what works best for your dealership.
Right, the bid calculator. Definitely going to use that. Okay, so now let's talk targeting. I'm guessing this is where all that work we did on day 2 with our customer profiles really comes into play.
You got it. It's like this. Your ad is your fishing lure. You wouldn't just throw it out in any old body of water. You'd go where you know the fish are biting. Targeting is about finding the best fishing spots on YouTube for your dealership.
I like that analogy. So how do we find those prime fishing spots? What do we need to do in this campaign?
This is where all that audience segmentation from day 2 really matters. Remember, defining those demographics, interests, custom audiences. This is where you use them. You're not trying to reach everyone in your city, just the specific types of people who are most likely to be interested in what your dealership is offering. And since this campaign is all about getting local folks onto your lot, you're going to be using geo-targeting. It lets you focus your ad budget on the people right in your area. It's all about making sure you get the most bang for your buck.
Exactly. We don't need to be selling cars across the country, just right here in our backyard. So we've got our audience narrowed down by demographics, interest, location. Anything else we're missing?
Keywords. Remember that list we talked about? Those keywords are like the bait on your fishing hook. They're going to attract the viewers who are already searching for information about the kinds of vehicles that you sell. Let's say you're featuring a great deal on a popular SUV. You'd target people who are searching for that SUV, its competitors, and related terms like best family SUV or fuel-efficient SUV.
So we're not just targeting people who fit a certain profile. We're reaching out to people who are actively searching for cars. That's smart.
It's all about strategy. You're basically meeting them where they are in their online journey. You're not just hoping they'll stumble upon your dealership. You're putting yourself right in their path.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got our budget set, our bidding strategy figured out, our targeting dialed in. We're ready to upload that video ad we made on day 4. What else do we need to know about making this campaign awesome?
Okay, so we've got targeting all set. Now let's focus on the ad itself. You'll upload that video from day 4, make sure it's all formatted properly. But here is a really important part. The call to action overlay.
The call to action, right?
Yeah.
This is where we tell viewers exactly what we want them to do next. We don't just want them to remember us. We want them to take action.
You got it. You're going to design an overlay that has a clear and compelling call to action. Something like, schedule your test drive today, or claim your exclusive bonus offer. Keep it simple and easy to read. Make it look good too. And this overlay needs to link directly to that dedicated landing page you created back on day 3.
It's all coming together. The video, the targeting, the call to action, the landing page. This is like a well-oiled machine designed to get those conversions.
Exactly. Now that you mentioned the landing page, let's talk about how to make sure it's really optimized for those valuable leads. This is where viewers become potential customers, so we got to make it count.
All right, landing pages. What do dealerships need to know to get this right?
Well, just like when someone walks into your showroom, that first impression is key. The landing page needs to look good. Make sure it's easy to use on a phone too, since lots of people will be clicking through from their mobile devices. Nobody wants to wait around for a slow website to load.
Got it. Keep it clean, modern, easy to navigate. Grab their attention right away. What about the actual content on the landing page? What should we be saying?
Be clear and concise. Focus on the offer from your video ad. Don't make people hunt around for information. Tell them exactly what you're offering and why they should care. It's like a sales pitch, but it's online.
So if the ad is all about a special financing deal on a certain truck, the landing page should be about that same truck and that same deal. And we should make it super easy to learn more or even apply, right?
Exactly. And don't hide that call to action. Make it big, bold, impossible to miss. Tell people exactly what you want them to do. Fill out a form schedule, a test drive, call the dealership, whatever it is, make it super easy for them to take that next step.
Remove any obstacles.
Yeah?
Make it smooth and easy.
Done. Okay, so we've got a great landing page. But even then, we need to know how it's performing. How do we actually track the results of this campaign? Otherwise, how do we know if it's actually working? You're absolutely right. That's where those tracking URLs are so important. Remember to use those in your call to action links. They're going to let you see exactly how many people are clicking on your ads, visiting your landing page, and actually turning into leads. It's like having a secret window into how well your campaign is doing.
So we can see what's grabbing people's attention, where they might be losing interest, and ultimately what's bringing in those valuable leads.
Exactly. It's like a dashboard for your whole campaign. So let's say you've launched your campaign, you're tracking everything, and the results are, well, not so great. What do you do?
Okay, that's not what we want to hear. But it could happen. What if the campaign isn't performing as well as we'd hoped?
Here's where the beauty of digital marketing really shines. You're not stuck with some fixed plan like in traditional advertising. You have the power to make changes and optimize your campaign based on what the data is telling you.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're constantly managing the campaign, learning from the data, and making it better as we go.
Exactly. And this is where Google Analytics is your best friend. It lets you dig into those numbers and see things like what types of people are responding best, what keywords are bringing in the most traffic, and even what time of day people are most likely to click and take action.
Wow, that's amazing. So we're not just throwing money at this. We can actually see what's working and what's not.
Right. And based on all that information, you can tweak things like your targeting, your bidding strategy, even the ad itself. Maybe you need to change the call to action a little or try focusing on a slightly different audience. The key is to keep analyzing, trying new things and fine-tuning things until you find what works best for your dealership.
So we're using the data to make our campaign better, like a mechanic fine-tuning an engine.
Perfect analogy. The more you adjust and improve, the more efficient your campaign will become. the better it does, the more leads you get, and ultimately, the more cars you sell.
And that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
More cars driving off the lot.
Yeah.
Now, you gave us this incredible resource called the Custom Affinity Audience Keyword List. It seems like it's full of great keywords that dealerships can use.
It's a great place to start. It covers a huge range of things that potential customers might be interested in. Dealerships can use this list to brainstorm even more targeted keywords, ones that are super specific to their local market and the kinds of vehicles they sell.
I can see how valuable that would be. For example, a dealership that specializes in trucks might want to focus on keywords related to towing, off-roading, work-related features.
Exactly. You want to put yourself in your ideal customer's shoes. What are they searching for online? What words are they using? Once you know that you can tailor your campaign to speak directly to them, it's all about understanding what they want and need.
This is where it gets really interesting. We're not just looking at basic demographics anymore. We're getting into the psychology of our customers.
You got it. And when you combine those super targeted keywords with everything else we've talked about, that awesome video ad, the optimized landing page, the careful tracking and analysis, you've got a winning formula.
So we've covered a lot today. Campaign setup, targeting landing pages, even advanced strategies like retargeting. This is a whole lot of information.
It is. But before we move on, I want to emphasize one more thing. This is a journey. It's about trying new things, analyzing what happens, and constantly improving. Don't be afraid to experiment and make adjustments along the way.
So we don't need to have everything perfect right from the start. It's about learning and growing as we go.
Exactly. The great thing about digital marketing is that it's always changing. You're never really done. There's always something you can tweak or improve to make your campaigns even better.
That's what makes it exciting. Now, are there any other expert tips or advanced things that dealerships should know about YouTube advertising? What can they do to really take their campaigns to the next level?
Okay, so you want pro-level tips. One really effective tactic is retargeting. It's like this. Think about those customers who come to the dealership, look around, maybe even test drive a car, but then they leave without buying. Retargeting is like giving them a friendly callback, reminding them about the cars they are interested in, maybe even offering them a little something extra.
So we're basically staying on their radar if they've already shown some interest. Like if they've been to our website or watched a video or clicked on one of our ads, they already know who we are, so they're more likely to actually buy from us than someone who's never heard of our dealership before. Right?
Exactly. You're connecting with them at a different point in their journey. They've had some time to think, maybe do a little research, and now you're gently bringing them back with a message that speaks directly to them.
Makes sense. Like we're continuing the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else can we do to step up our YouTube ad game? What are some other things to think about?
Don't be afraid to branch out and use different types of ads. YouTube has a bunch of options. Try them out. See what works best for your dealership. Skippable in-stream ads are a great way to start, but there are also non-skippable in-stream ads. Those are shorter and can't be skipped. Those can be really good for grabbing attention, but you got to use them strategically.
Yeah. I guess, too many unskippable ads could get annoying. So what other types should we be thinking about? What else is out there?
Well, there are bumper ads. Those are the super short ones, just 6 seconds that play before a video. They're good for quick reminders and keeping your dealership's name in people's minds. And then there are discovery ads. Those show up with YouTube search results. So they're perfect for catching people who are actively looking for information about your dealership or cars in general. It's all about putting your ads where your customers are already searching.
You also mentioned something called video ad sequencing. That sounds pretty interesting. How does that work?
With sequencing, you're basically telling a story with your ads. It's like a series of ads. Maybe the first one talks about a problem that the customer has. The second one shows how your dealership can solve that problem. And then the third one encourages them to take action. It's a cool way to build engagement and make your ads more memorable.
Wow. It's like creating a mini-series all about your dealership. Each ad builds on the one before it. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So with all these different options, how does a dealership choose the right ad formats for their campaign?
It all comes back to that idea of testing and analyzing. See what works best for your audience and your dealership, and then use the data to refine your strategy. You can even A/B test, which means running 2 slightly different versions of the same ad to see which one does better. It's all about constantly tweaking and improving.
So it's not about just setting things up and crossing our fingers. We're keeping an eye on things, making adjustments, using what we learn to make things better all the time.
Exactly. You got it.
Yeah.
Data is your friend. Learn to use it to your advantage. Now, one last piece of advice. Don't be afraid to be creative.
Yeah?
Targeting and data are important.
Yeah.
You're also trying to connect with people on an emotional level. Let people see your dealership's personality. Tell stories that your audience will care about. Don't be afraid to try something unexpected or even a little bit weird.
So it's not just about listing features and specs, it's about showing people what makes your dealership special. Why should they choose you instead of the competition? What's your story?
Exactly. Make them laugh, make them think, make them feel something. If you can do that, they'll remember your ad long after they've seen it.
I like that a lot. So we've covered so much today. We talked about setting up the campaign, targeting our audience, making a great landing page. We even got into some really advanced strategies like retargeting and creating a whole sequence of ads. This has been awesome.
It has. And remember, you've got all the tools you need to create a successful campaign. The campaign setup guide, the tracking templates, the bid calculator, and that awesome keyword list. They're all there to help you succeed. So now it's time to go out there, try things out, and start bringing in those leads.
To all the dealerships out there listening, go get creative and see how much your business can grow in this digital world. And don't forget to track your results. Keep making those adjustments, and most importantly, have fun with it. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of YouTube advertising. We'll be back soon with more great information and strategies to help you stay ahead of the game.